Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And this will be a fairly straight to the point, quick video dealing with some breaking headlines today. Now, it's been reported that 3 U.S. soldiers have been killed in what they're calling a drone strike over here in Jordan. And, this is one article on it from the Times of Israel, another one here from ABC News, which is worded a bit more interestingly, right? It says 3 U.S. troops killed by Iranian-backed drone strike in Jordan, Biden says. It says the president said the U.S. is still gathering the facts. So, as of now, this is sort of what they're going with, at least what they're saying, really what Biden is saying. And so let's read a little bit about it here. Iranian-backed militants killed 3 American service members and wounded several others in an unarmed aerial drone attack in Jordan near the Syrian border, President Joe Biden announced on Sunday. Biden said in a statement that the U.S. is still gathering the facts, quote unquote, surrounding the wholly unjust attack that occurred Saturday night. The president praised the killed service members for being unwavering in their bravery, unflinching in their duty, unbending in their commitment to our country. The strike marked the first U.S. troop deaths since the start of the Israel-Hamas war in October, sparked by the Hamas T attack, right? So this is the initial information that has come out on it now. And what's very interesting is, once again, as we keep on telling you, the Iran keeps popping up in here, and the whole goal is to get to a point where it's justifiable for them to be able to go get into a war with Iran. Okay, ultimately that's what it's going to come down to, and that's why everything you hear is going back to Iranian back. But the thing about it is, Iran is not.
I'm here with Michael Smith from Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, we're not interested in that. Iran is not, isolated. Iran has allies. Okay, very big allies that, the West is cautious about. Okay, so now let's see what's written on here in the Times of Israel article. 3 U.S. soldiers killed, 25 injured in drone strike on military base in Jordan. We read this. The U.S. President Joe Biden said the attack was carried out by radical Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq, the Reuters news agency reports. And there was an article on this on CNN as well. And basically what they were calling it is the same thing that we just read here. But they were saying that because this is pretty much like the first instance of U.S. troops being killed after this whole situation in the Middle East has sparked recently, it's pretty much like a major escalation, right? Because this is how it starts. It's like a tit for tat. Like, oh, they did this, but it's like, hey, are you just gonna let them, attack U.S. troops and directly kill them and stuff like that, and just leave it as is? So now you got to retaliate, and then it just gets bigger and bigger. Okay, now for all we know, Iran could come out and say, nah, we didn't do that, or like we didn't support that. Then what's going to happen? Okay, but nonetheless, the point is what you're seeing around the world is it all ties back to what? Prophecy. Okay, these are all wars and rumors of wars, heavily on the rumors of wars, because these events that take place, these are pretty much war talk, in the sense that if you're hearing that Iran-backed drone strike kills U.S. troops over there, what is the next thought? Well, what's the U.S. going to do in response? Okay, and everybody who at least is paying attention is thinking about how things are escalating over there, and how eventually this might just become a regional war, and then from there it might become a world war as things continue to escalate more and more. It's like this. Yeah, here's a very basic example. When you have 2 individuals that are at odds with each other. Typically, maybe like high school students or something, and they get angry, and you see them in the street, and then they're like, first they might be standing a couple feet apart, and then it starts with the words. They're talking smack to each other. The other one is saying, well, you said this, you said that, you a whole little piece of whatever. And then the other one said, what you said, come see that to my face. That's level 1 escalation. So now the dude walks up to the other dude's face, and now he's in proximity of throwing hands. Okay, that's a level 1 escalation. What happens after that? Eventually, one of them loses their cool and either pushes the other one, steps too close, slightly touches them, and that first move ends in a response from the other person. Maybe this guy punches him in the face, and then from there, it's not going to de-escalate. The only kinds of situations mainly that would cause a de-escalation is if the second that first punch gets thrown, the crowd like sort of separates these two. But if they don't, you have a 90% chance or a 99% chance that this guy got punched in the face, he's going to punch the other person back. He's going to grab him. He's going to toss him here. They're going to keep going back and forth just like that until they both get tired or somebody gets really hurt or whatever. Somebody loses. Okay? So the easiest part, the reason I'm giving this example is to say that the easiest point of de-escalation is prior to them getting up and close and personal in their face. Because at that point, the second the one person touches the other, you're pretty much past de-escalation. It's going to be, he hit me, I hit him, he hit me, I hit him, and then the fight is already on. So when you have situations like this, it only takes, because right now they're already in each other's faces. The U.S. is all the way over there in the east. Bruh, you are a whole ocean away from where your land is. So they're already in each other's faces, and now they're saying that, oh, this guy, these guys attacked us, and so it just goes back and forth like that. But these are all part of the things that we're to watch, okay, and pay attention to and measure the times diligently, because the way the Lord set these prophecies up, it could really just be triggered just like that. Sometimes it seems almost like it came off guard because people don't pay attention. And while all this is going on a geopolitical level, on a higher level, you have things that are happening within even the U.S. alone. Talks of a possible civil war. You have already, you're seeing divisions, right? You have Texas and 25 other states that are back in Texas concerning this border situation. Now, the federal government, right? Biden could come out and say, we're going to sign something and go and give in and let Texas keep the razor wire up and block the border. But even if they did do that and they were to quote unquote narrowly avert a possible civil war, the damage is already done. The people are already in the country. They already in the country in all different states, whoever they may be it sleeper cells, be it just, people that are going to make your life a living hell in the coming months as this country goes into a third world state. Whoever it is, they're already in here. Okay? Ready to do whatever it is that they're here to do. Now, also, if it goes the other route where, Biden's like, nah, after I ain't signing shit. And he's like, look, we're going to send the federal troops up in there to go and take those razor wires off. And here it is. You got the National Guard of Texas and these other states saying you could try that and see what happens to you. Then that could go another route very quickly too. Okay. So the point is that there's a lot, like the world is on fire basically. And these are just two events that I mentioned. The economy is not doing good either. Okay. The supply chain, the food supply chain is not doing good. There are parts of the world right now that people are literally starving to death. Right? And all of these things are going on. And what is the average individual doing? Probably have no idea, like no clue. And when I say no clue, I mean they don't care enough to even understand. I'm sure maybe they may glance at it while they're scrolling through social media or see it on the news briefly, but they don't care enough to stop and look into it and see what is this and how is it affecting me? And guess what? That's going to lead to you getting caught up by surprise. Because guess what? If the U.S. goes and enters a war in there and they start a draft, they're gonna take your ass in there. Maybe then you'll realize what's really happening around you. Anyway, this is the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 26. As in the days, and as it was in the days of Noah. Now, this is supposed to say Noah, though it's spelled Noe. It's really Noah, right? So, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man, meaning the days of the return of the Messiah. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. So what's the point in saying this? What's the point to be made here? The point to be made here is not that eating is bad or drinking is bad, marrying and all of that. What the point here was that they were doing this while Noah was building this ark, warning them of the flood to come. And instead of taking heed, they decided to just continue about living their regular lives until the very day that Noah entered into the ark and that flood came and caught them, because they didn't believe that a flood was coming. So they continued to live carefree as if everything was good until that flood came. And guess what happened to them? They got destroyed. So the comparison being made here is that similar to how in Noah's time, they didn't believe that, these things were about to happen. These bad things were about to happen. And because of that, they got caught by surprise and got caught up in it. It's going to be the same in this time before the return of the Messiah, where the world is literally on fire and we're warning people of how bad it's going to be. And they don't believe it. So they continue to live their regular lives until this destruction comes and hits them and they get caught up in it. Likewise, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat and drink, they bought, they sowed, they planted, they builded. But what? The same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. See? So just like that, suddenly, because guess what? The day of the flood, right? In Noah's time, the day of the flood, I'm sure the previous day, people were just living their regular lives. And let's say, for example's sake, the flood started at, like, the Lord caused the flood, the rain and all that to start in the afternoon, maybe like 12 p.m. That morning, people woke up to live their regular lives, to go and do whatever it is they do, their trade, their work, their job, whatever it is, until even up until 11:50, until 11:59, until 12. Then maybe one or two people or a couple started noticing what the hell is falling from the sky, and then oh shit, it's getting worse. It's getting to a point where when it gets like very noticeable, then you start to think in your mind, hold on, wait a minute, is this what Noah was talking about? Because what the hell is this? And then everybody thinks about Noah. Now they want to go find him and that ark. But guess what? By the time you grab your luggage and shit and run and get no, sir, you're done. So at the very end, they realized that what Noah said was true. The problem was they were about to get a first-hand experience of what he said. Okay, not being on the ark. So same thing now. Up until that very time when the Lord brings that, that boom, that first hit, people are still going to be in that state of just living life like everything is good. Here it is. You're living in a burning building, but everything is fine. So anyway, that's why it says here in verse 30, even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. See, when the Lord comes back, it's going to catch him just like that. Boom. What the hell is going on? Or if you were paying attention, you would know exactly what's going on, right? So things like this, once again, we're warning, pay attention. This like things are escalating. Each time an article like this comes out or another form of breaking news like this comes out, it's another form of escalation leading to something that we've been warning you about. But the Lord has set it up to where the majority of people are still, no matter how much evidence, how many lessons you do, how many articles you bring out, they're still going to ignore it and continue to live their regular lives until they cannot ignore it anymore. And at that point, well, then they're going to deal with whatever comes after. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and informative to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.